The Whispering Tree. In the quiet village of Amapura, nestled between golden rice fields and misty hills, lived a curious 12-year-old girl named Lila. Her days were filled with laughter, chores, and stories told by her grandmother under the shade of a great banyan tree. That tree, said to be hundreds of years old, stood alone at the edge of the village and was known as the Whispering Tree. The villagers believed it could speak, not with words, but through the wind that rustled its leaves. Some said the tree remembered everything, ancient secrets, forgotten songs, and the voices of those who once sat beneath it. Most villagers respected the legend, but saw it only as a tale to charm children. But Lila believed. She would sit alone under its shade for hours, drawing, reading, or listening. Sometimes, when the breeze was just right, she could almost hear a voice in the rustling leaves, soft, musical, and sad. One dry season, everything changed. The rains didn't come, the fields turned yellow, and the village well ran low. Crops withered, animals grew thin, and worry spread through Amapura like smoke in the wind. The village elders gathered to pray, to dance, to call upon the spirits, but no rain came. One evening, Lila sat by the Whispering Tree, tracing circles in the dust. The breeze was faint, but it stirred the leaves just enough. She closed her eyes, listening. "Seek the river beneath," the tree seemed to say. Lila's eyes flew open. The voice wasn't imagined this time. It was clear, like a whisper carried on the wind. "The river beneath?" she murmured aloud. The next morning, Lila told her grandmother what she had heard. Her grandmother looked thoughtful, then told her a story, one passed down from her own grandmother, about an underground river that once ran beneath the village, long before the well was dug. "It's just a story," she said. But Lila saw the flicker of belief in her eyes. Determined, Lila gathered a group of friends. Thwin, a boy who could build anything with his hands. Mayat, a girl with a mind for puzzles, and Khotun, who knew the land better than anyone. They mapped the oldest parts of the village and examined where the soil was still damp even in the heat. For days they dug, deeper and deeper, while the villagers watched with mixed amusement and worry. But Lila never gave up. She believed the tree wouldn't lie. One afternoon, when the sun was high and their bodies ached, Thwin's shovel struck something hollow. They all froze. Another strike, and cool air rushed up from below. Carefully, they cleared the dirt, revealing an old stone shaft sealed with ancient carvings. Lila reached out, her fingers trembling, and traced the markings. They glowed faintly under her touch. "It's real," she whispered. With the help of some villagers, they opened the shaft. A ladder led down into the darkness. Lantern in hand, Lila descended first, followed closely by her friends. Below, they found a hidden chamber, and beneath it, the underground river, still flowing, cold and pure. Using bamboo pipes and the village's forgotten irrigation channels, Thwin and Mayat helped reroute the water up to the surface. Within days, the village well filled again. The crops were watered. The animals drank. Hope returned to Amapura. The elders, stunned, blessed the children and offered thanks to the spirits. But Lila returned quietly to the Whispering Tree, placed her hand on its bark, and whispered, "Thank you." That night, as the first rain in weeks began to fall, Lila dreamt of the tree. Not as it stood now, but as it once was. Taller, greener, surrounded by children from centuries ago. And in her dream, the tree spoke again, not with rustling leaves, but with a voice gentle and kind. "Thank you for listening." From that day forward, the Whispering Tree was no longer just a legend. It became a symbol of hope, of listening to the old stories, and of the quiet power of belief. And Lila, who once sat beneath its shade dreaming of magic, became known as the girl who listened and changed her village forever. Thank Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more stories and animations.